my car back. But anyways, next video we'll go over what happened, what broke, what was replaced, what the setup is now because it's changed. This video that you're about to see is another build video. I know these aren't the world's most popular, but this one's a little more interesting than mine. I'm going to try and keep it short for you guys, so next week we'll dive more into my car, but for this week we'll do a build video, another motor for you guys. I know nobody likes those, but whatever, it's all I got this week. Okay, so this is a built motor that was in this nice beautiful white Gen 1 here. Had about 6,000 to 7,000 kilometers on it. Wiseco pistons, K1 rods. Otherwise, basically just basic ARP head studs. I think you're on just stock mains, right? Or ARPs as well?
I think it's ARP all the way down, but I can't remember. Okay,
so kind of a simple build. It had a GTX 2871, so perfect turbo, cork sport intake manifold, stock exhaust manifold. Yep, freak tuned, 24-ish PSI, 23, somewhere in that world. But anyway, so what happened? Why is this thing like this?
So we went to the track last year, a bunch of times actually, probably 4 or 5 times with it, drove around. No problem, no oil consumption, nothing like that. We got to Grand Bend in October.
Yeah,
so
that was
pretty
mid-October.
cold out, and they were running a really short modified track because the drag nationals were there. So we figured, basically what happens, we started popping the dipstick, and I hadn't ever had that happen before, so we figured cold air, lots of combination of that, maybe just really boosty because the track was just really on-off on the throttle, so really hard on the throttle. So we figured, okay, well maybe we've maxed it out, we've got cold air, we've got perfect conditions, and we're getting to the point of having crankcase pressure issues. And so the idea over the winter, because it was October and the car doesn't get driven in the winter, is I probably throw some sort of crankcase ventilation system on it. And so basically I hurt myself, and once I got back in February, basically just did the health check of the engine, did the compression check down, and we ended up not really in a great position. Cylinder 1, I have a picture of it, I can't remember. We were somewhere in like the 160, 150, 92, and then like 120 range, something like that. So cylinder 3, which is infamous on these engines, seems to have taken a shift, basically.
So with that being said, at this point we've stripped the motor down bare. The nuts are all out for the ARP head studs. So we're going to pull the head, and basically we're just going to inspect cylinder 3. We don't know what to find. Yeah, cracked ringland, busted ring. Is the cylinder walls going to be scored? The cylinder walls might be super smooth, which would be another reason for loss of compression, because the ring, it needs the crosshatch to actually seal. It needs that friction there. If it's just super smooth, like the ring's just going to move and boost just going to go by it. So anyways, we're going to pull the head here, and we'll know in a minute or two kind of what happened. But I mean, the thing was tuned properly. It was running pretty healthy until it wasn't.
Yeah, until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't. All right. All right. So, I mean, at first glance, where's the light? At first glance, it's hard for us to tell, but it does appear that everything is as it should be. One thing that I've kind of noticed is that the cross hatching is sort of
non-existent.
It's kind of not there, and I mean that could be a few things. That could be it wasn't prepped properly. That could be the rings just like maybe fuel washed it down. That is also another problem. But the other cylinders were kind of okay. It was really 3, so I mean we're just in the process of turning it over.
We got it as far as
yeah, the head
over there. The gasket.
The gasket looks good here.
Gasket looks fine. Like it doesn't look like it.
So this is a Cometic gasket, so it's a nice fancy pants one, but it doesn't look like
it doesn't have any problem.
No, it didn't push.
There's no big bubbles or anything in it.
It was sealing, but
so that seems to be fine. We have the crank.
But anyways, we're literally rotating her over,
and we're at the bottom, pretty much. Now we're definitely at the bottom.
So
let's see here. Want to take the light?
Yeah,
you can do that.
I'll try and get in there with it. It's very difficult.
Ooh,
but
they're pretty smooth walls.
So the walls aren't gouged, which is beautiful.
That's good. And they don't look like there's any sort of
there is a small one here, but it barely catches my nail. Barely.
But like we're still at 87.5, so like even
You would
if we
need new
had it-
pistons if you wanted to go to 88 is the problem.
No, and I don't want to go. I
But
want to keep it.
what they would do is they would hone this out.
Yeah.
They would measure piston to wall, see if it's within spec. If it is, you're good to go. If not, they'll give you an option. Listen, do you want a loose motor or do you want bigger pistons? But
Yeah.
there is a slight groove there that catches the nail. It's not alarming.
But that shouldn't be enough to lose half the PSI on the compression.
The reason
I
I'm
think.
thinking is because there's no cross hatching in any of these cylinders. Like, they look very, very smooth. And the wiseco guys, they have a spec that they use.
They're pretty picky.
Well, the rings are just, they need that to seal, right? The cross hatching provides friction. If it's a frictionless surface, things are going to blow by the rings. It's very simple, right? So
Yeah.
but
We should look at the bottom of the head too, actually. Just
We
we
can-
haven't even looked at the valves yet.
yeah, we're going to turn the head over and look at the valves next and see if anything's going on there.
gets us.
And we'll even rotate the motor over and pull the pan later and see if anything under there looks ugly. But I think it's just the case of the rings just didn't, it's not seated in that
Just not
cylinder.
seated quite right.
Yep.
You light?
Okay, well,
Right here.
we're about to
Don't trip on there.
we're about to flip the head over and see if anything weird's going on with the valves, which very unlikely, but never know.
You never know.
Here, let me hold that.
Yeah. We got magnets. That'll work. Good enough. I think we can see it on the camera. So this looks all pretty decent.
Yeah, the top side's fine. I'm not concerned with anything I saw there.
Probably leaves a little oil. That one's looked like brand new.
Yeah, well, these will be all your intakes. These will be your exhaust. Cylinder 3 was letting a ton of oil by.
So
Look
much
at how
oil.
it's soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
And the rest are dry. So
They're all dry.
100% the rings were completely gone.
Yeah.
in
Oh, I know
cylinder
why it's
3.
wet though, because I dropped oil when I was
Did
doing
you when you were
compression
doing your
check.
compression
Because
check?
I was doing a leak
Okay.
down test. So
Well,
that's why
that
it's soaking
That's
wet.
why it's soaked. But we do know cylinder 3 shot anyways, so it makes sense. This is 3
But I don't
here.
see any like marks.
No, no,
It didn't hit anything.
Nothing contacted. Everything here is in good shape. So the head we're not even going to touch. It's been lashed literally 7,000 or 8,000 kilometers ago.
Basically done.
So
Everything's
it's
been
fine. We're gonna keep it
Done.
aside.
Valves have been lapped. Everything's
Everything's
clean.
mint. We're just
It's all
gonna send
fine.
out the block. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, not as much excitement as we wanted, but that's a good thing when it comes to your wallet.
Yeah.
Less excitement is better
Less
for the
excitement is better.
for the wallet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's kind of it. So I mean, this thing's gonna go out to the machine shop at some point. Not you know, just whenever we get the pistons and rods out, because we still need to do that. We're waiting on a socket for the rod bolts. This will go to the machine shop. They'll check it out. If we can reuse this block, fantastic. If not, we're gonna do a swap. I've got a virgin unmolested block that can be used for this build, and then I'll take this one and just have it overboard in the future whenever I need another block. So yeah, okay. It's gonna make a huge mess when you rotate it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So get a lot of stuff underneath it, more than just that cardboard.
Yep.